Now, cool thing with this is that you can literally just click on the next ticker you want to create this alert on. Trendspider will automatically backtest the strategy for you and do the trend analysis all at the same time, right? So you can see if this works on Google. In this case, it doesn't. We can go to the SPY, see if it works on SPY, right? And we can keep on going through our watch list here.
This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Ewell. Today's episode is produced in partnership with Trendspider. Get scanning, charts, backtesting, and alerts all in one place with Trendspider. Go to trendspider.10MinuteStockTrader.com to get an exclusive discount code and bonuses worth over $100 when you take your free trial at trendspider.10MinuteStockTrader.com. Hey there, traders. Welcome back to today's How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast. Today, we have a special lesson for you, and this is coming straight from my brand new trading course called the AI Stock Trading System. I've literally pulled this lesson straight out of the course, and I'm putting it here on the podcast because I really believe that this is going to provide you massive, massive value, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And hey, listen, if this podcast was useful to you at all, I really highly suggest that you go check out the full trading course at AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com. Hey, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we give you more tools, tips, and tricks to help you trade faster and trade smarter every single week.
Hey guys, Zach with Trendspider here, doing a overview video of the strategy tester. And without further ado, we'll get right into it. Today I'm going to be talking about how you guys can use the strategy tester to backtest some strategies and some of the new features we've added to it, as well as some of the new capabilities that we've added to it as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to add some indicators to the chart. I've got a few already on here. 2 moving averages, MACD, and I'll just add a stochastic to here. We'll hit apply, turn this on. Now, to access your strategy tester, you just turn it on up here in the top right. You don't actually have to have the indicator on your chart. It just makes it a little bit easier to backtest that specific indicator. But if I wanted to add like a Bollinger Band into the backtester or a Keltner channel, you could just add it here with the parameter here. But it makes it a little bit easier to find. I'm going to delete this to show you guys how I got here. And if you noticed, the way this strategy tester works is the left side of my screen is, or the left side of the strategy tester is my entry conditions. The right side of my strategy tester is my exit conditions. So I'm going to test this strategy of buying when the 9 crosses up on the 20. Stochastics are bullish and MACD is bullish. So we can do that by clicking on the add parameter here. Click on condition and then just set up our parameters, say 9 crossing up on the indicator 20. You can go ahead and add another condition, right? We want to add that MACD condition, so my fast needs to be greater than my indicator slow. And then we can add a third condition. We can keep adding conditions to this, right? But I'm going to do a stochastic K, needs to be greater than my indicator stochastic D. We could add a volume condition to this. We could add a candlestick pattern condition to this. We could backtest above average volume with a candlestick pattern. So really this strategy tester is unlimited. The one thing that is limited about this strategy tester is that we can only backtest single time frame strategies at the moment. So if you noticed here, everything on the left side of my screen is all in the daily time frame. That's because the strategy tester setting is set to the daily. You can go from the 1 minute all the way up to the monthly chart. We'll just this on an hourly time frame, but we do still offer multi-time frame alerts, right? So you can have multiple conditions from other time frames being met and still get that alert. You just can't backtest that at the moment, right? But that's something down the line that we're going to add. Now you've got your exit conditions here on the right, and we can add a script condition, candles pass, take profit, or stop loss, or all 4. Right, we'll do an add script condition. We'll say, all right, I want to go ahead and, let's say I want to sell in the exact opposite over here. So when the 9 crosses down on the 20 instead of up. So we'll go ahead and add that condition. And then we can also go ahead and add a candles pass, right? So I'll just say if I'm still in the trade 60 candles later, I just want to exit. If I also maybe want to add a take profit level, so if I've made more than 25% on my money, I just want to exit here. And then I can add a stop loss as well. Let's say if I lose more than 5%, I just want to exit as well. And then notice here on these take profit levels, we've got these options of when the candle closes, so we hit the 25% and then it closes whenever, or we can do it at that immediate level. That's your choice, right? I'm just going to do it for at the immediate level, right? So as soon as I hit a 5% stop or negative on the trade, I'm just going to exit. And before you test this strategy, we've got a few settings. Like I said before, you got the time frames. You can go from the 1 minute to the monthly. Analysis depth, so how far back do you want to test this strategy? The chart itself, which is around 300 candles or so. Shallow, 2,000, 3,000, 7,000 candles back. And then the trade by price. What are we going to execute these trades at? The open, high, low, close of this candle or any of these averages? We're just going to do the close. Now we do offer different chart types on this platform. So generally speaking, most backtests work with the generic open, high, low, close. But for our raindrops and Heikin-Ashi line, those data points are going to be a little bit different. So just make sure you're on the right type of candle chart that you want to backtest. So I'll go ahead and test this strategy with the inputs that we have here. And you can see we managed pretty well for the most part. I'm reading this from the bottom left-hand corner of my screen. I analyzed 47 positions across 2 years of Facebook data, just under 3,000 candles with an average trade return of 0.29%. So what this is saying is that over the course of the last 2 years, we traded 47 times, and every time we entered into a trade, we can expect to have an average gain of 0.29%, right? And then you can see here of our performance chart, we've got the performance of our portfolio or our strategy netted us 11.72%, while buying and holding Facebook over the last 2 years would have netted us a positive gain of 0.45%. It's not that great. You can see here in the tabular data on the right, we've got some repetitive statistics, but you've also got your asset performance, beta versus asset positions. You've got the number of winning trades, so 18 or 38%. Number of losing trades, 62% or 29. Average winning trade was positive 3.71%. Average losing trade was negative 1.82 or 83%, giving us that average return. And then we've also got this price behavior explorer on the left. If I maximize this and I show you what it reads, it says mean percent change after X candles was positive 3.18%. So basically what this is saying is that for the positions that lasted this long, they generally averaged you around a 3.18% gain. Well, you can actually see the number of positions that made it that far by clicking on number of positions here. And then you can see we start at 47 as time goes by. You can see we're at about between 20 trades here open at this time. Now, keep in mind, this is the average, right? So that means that there could be some higher trades that were returning a higher return at that point, or trades that were returning a lower return at that point as well. It's not like all of your trades netted you this gain, right? So we can see which the 25th and 75th percentile by this blue shadow. So the top of this shadow is the 75th percentile of your trades. So the top 75th percentile of your trades were netting you here around this 25%. I'm sorry, 25 candles, 3.24%, while the bottom 25% are down here. You can also do the min-max range in here. This is going to show you the absolute min-max range. So we had a trade netting us all the way up here at 15% almost, and then we had some trades down here almost negative as well. So that's a kind of a better way to look at it as well, to see the full range of your trades. Another good way to look at it is the median change. So you can see here our median change is a little bit lower than our mean change, right? So that is the price behavior explorer. Now, cool thing with this is you can click see on chart, and you can actually see on the chart when and where we would have entered and exited based on these conditions, right? And why we would have exited, right? So entry, exit because of the script condition here. I can click and drag this chart back, and I can keep looking back to see, maybe some other conditions that were exited, but we can just look through our chart here and see why we exited, right? So you can see entry, exit because of the number of candles passed. Here, another exit because of candles passed, right? You can just see those arrows on your screen. These arrows will stay on your screen, so to remove them, make sure you right-click on one of them and then hit remove all execution marks. They'll pop right off. Now the other thing you can do, let's say you have a strategy that you like and you want to dive into a little bit deeper based on the trades, you can click on this download CSV file and click on one of these options. It's going to download an Excel sheet into your computer. You can open that Excel up and dive into this, dive into the details of these trades. Right? What prices were you buying them at? What were you exiting at? Now, one thing to note about this strategy tester is that we assume perfect executions, right? So we don't account for slippage or missing the market, or we're presuming that you entered the market perfectly and exited perfectly each time. The other thing that you need to know about the strategy tester is that when we take into account the wins or losses from your previous trades. So what that means is when you go into your next trade, you are taking in the wins or losses from your last trade. So it's a compounding strategy that we're testing here, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind, a little bit disclaimer there. Now, cool thing with this is that you can literally just click on the next ticker you want to create this alert on. Trendspider will automatically backtest the strategy for you and do the trend analysis all at the same time, right? So you can see if this works on Google. In this case, it doesn't. We can go to the SPY, see if it works on SPY, right? And we can keep on going through our watch list here. Now, the other thing is, part of backtesting is editing your strategies to kind of make sure they perform a little bit, or see if they can perform a little bit better, right? One quick thing that I didn't mention here is we've also got a distribution line here, so you can actually see, where most of our trades are executing at on our, average wins or an average loss. So you can see a max gain here of 4.4%, a max loss of 1.5%, with an average loss right there, right? Average return and our average gain. Now you can go ahead and the cool thing with this is you just keep editing this stuff to make better strategies, right? So let's say that a lot of our exits were because of number of candles passed, and that could have been limiting our gains. We can delete this condition to see if our net return maybe goes up or down after a period of time, right? So our net profit at that point was 14.8. It went down by 0.4. So the number of candles past position actually helped us, right? And that's just part of backtesting and seeing, what works and what doesn't, adding new conditions, taking away conditions. And I recommend only editing one condition at a time. Once you find a good, decent strategy, maybe only tweak one thing, test it, see if it worked or not, right? Made it better or not. If it did, maybe test another thing, see if it can improve there or not, right? And the other thing that the strategy tester can test is the consecutive conditions being met. So for example, let's say I didn't want to enter unless I had 2 green candles previous to the cross here. So I could do that. We could say, all right, if you notice, and we can add these types of consecutive conditions with these parentheses last. So I want to go ahead and say, all right, well, I want these conditions met, and I also want to enter on a green candle. So my open needs to be less than my price close. But this green candle needed to have happened a candle before these other conditions met. So I can click on this last, and I'll put, notice how it goes from 0 candles ago, so we can change that to a 1, right? And then I can also go and add another candle, and we'll actually click on, we'll go ahead and click on price, open, needs to be less than, price, close. I'll click on last. We'll do 1 candle ago here, and then we'll click on last, and we'll do 1 candle ago. So now that this, so now this will test the strategy of when these conditions are met, and previously we had a green candle. So, and then we can keep adding this condition here, right? So I could and making it 2 candles ago, 3 candles ago, 4 candles ago, 5 candles ago. It's a little bit repetitive, but you can actually save these conditions so that you don't have to keep on making these types of repetitive additions to the strategy tester here. So I'll do this, and I'll just do one more. We'll do 2 candles ago. do actually. Hold on. Sorry. Because I'm on a small screen, I have to do a little workaround here because I accidentally hit the X on that. So, right, so now what this is going to do is this is going to enter on, and now you can't get too specific sometimes because, the market isn't always going to present these perfect conditions to you. So you need to be careful on adding too many conditions to your entry side. But basically what this means, what I'm testing right here, is for this these conditions to have met with 2 green candles prior to these conditions being met, right? So I can go ahead and test if that's a real viable strategy on here. And you can see that it is still, but it increased. It actually doesn't look like it didn't. It actually hurt our strategy here, but it still was able to find some entries based on that condition there. But you can see it was a lot less entries. It was about half. It was about 10 or so less entries than previous, right? And it brought our net profit down to 3.5. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're finding these consecutive conditions that you might not find all the trades you want because you're limiting yourself. So that's the strategy tester now, you guys, and that's the video. Let us know if you guys have any questions. You can email us, hello@trendspider.com, and you can also get in contact with our live chat as well. My name is Zach, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Okay, so what'd you think? That was pretty incredible, right? Now, if you like that, that's only a taste, only a sample of what you're going to find in the full AI stock trading system. And I really highly encourage you to go and check this out. Obviously, you are interested in learning on how to trade, and that's why you're listening to this podcast. Now, I'm going to take and download my entire trading system that I use day in and day out onto you. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is over at the AIStockTradingSystem.com. You're going to get phase 1, 2, and 3, several bonuses, and on top of that, I'm going to walk you through over a dozen trades that I put on inside of my account, holding your hand and showing you exactly how I got in, how I got out, how I use the artificial intelligence data, and how this could work inside of your own trading portfolio on a daily basis. So make sure you head on over to AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com to learn more and to get started and to download my decade plus worth of trading experience into your hands so you can start using the AI stock trading system today, the 5-step system to take the guesswork out of trading. Hey, if you like this video, let me know by leaving me a like below, and then subscribe and share it with somebody you think could use it as well. Be sure to comment below with your biggest takeaway from this episode and any suggestions you have for future episodes. And finally, make sure you watch these other videos to help you trade faster and trade smarter, and I'll see you on the next episode.